when determining the appropriate grounding electrode conductor size for a 2000 amp service fed by 5 sets of 500 kcmil conductors and polyvinyl chloride conduit connecting to building steel, you must adhere to the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 250. The grounding electrode conductor connects the service equipment to the grounding electrode, in this case, the building steel. The size of the grounding electrode conductor is based on the size of the service entrance conductors. To properly size the grounding electrode conductor, refer to NEC Table 250.66. This table provides the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor based on the size of the service entrance conductors. The service entrance conductors are 5 sets of 500 kcmil copper conductors. The equivalent size needs to be determined. Since there are 5 sets, each of 500 kcmil, the total cross-sectional area is 5 times the area of one 500 kcmil conductor. According to Chapter 9, Table 8 of the NEC, the area of a 500 kcmil copper conductor is 500,000 circular mils, which is also written as 500 mcm. Therefore, the total circular mil area of the 5 conductors is 5 times 500,000, which equals 2,500,000 circular mils or 2,500 mcm. Now, refer to Table 250.66 in the NEC to determine the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor. The table correlates the size of the service entrance conductors to the size of the grounding electrode conductor. Find the range in Table 250.66 that includes 2,500 kcmil. Table 250.66 shows that for service entrance conductors larger than 1100 kcmil copper, the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor is 3/0 AWG copper. However, an exception exists for connections to building steel. Section 250.66 states that if the grounding electrode is a rod, pipe, or plate, the grounding electrode conductor never needs to be larger than 6 AWG copper or 4 AWG aluminum. But in this case, since you are connecting to building steel, there is another rule. According to 250.66c, to building steel, the grounding electrode conductor never has to be larger than 3/0 AWG copper or 250 kcmil aluminum. Thus, for a 2000 amp service fed by 5 sets of 500 kcmil copper conductors and connected to building steel, the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor is 3/0 AWG copper. Grounding electrode conductors must be suitably protected from physical damage. Section 250.64 addresses this protection. If the grounding electrode conductor is exposed to physical damage, it must be protected by rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, reinforced thermosetting resin conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or cable armor. The connection to the building steel must be made with a listed connector suitable for the purpose. Verify that the connector is appropriate for the materials being joined and is properly installed. The grounding electrode conductor should be run in as straight a line as practicable from the service equipment to the grounding electrode. Avoid sharp bends and unnecessary lengths. The path of the grounding electrode conductor should be readily accessible. Avoid concealing it within walls or floors where possible. The grounding electrode conductor must be connected to the building steel grounding electrode by exothermic welding, listed lugs, listed pressure connectors, listed clamps, or other approved means. Ensure that the connection is secure and provides a low impedance path to ground. The purpose of the grounding electrode system is to provide a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, thereby facilitating the operation of overcurrent protective devices such as circuit breakers and fuses. Proper grounding ensures that metallic parts of the electrical system are at or near ground potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. Inspect the grounding electrode system regularly to ensure that all connections are secure and free from corrosion. If any issues are found, address them promptly to maintain the integrity of the grounding system. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. By following the guidelines and requirements outlined in the NEC, you can ensure that the grounding electrode conductor is properly sized and installed, providing a safe and reliable electrical system. Remember to always consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes or regulations for specific requirements in your area. If unsure, consult with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector. In summary, for a 2000 amp service fed by 5 sets of 500 kcmil copper conductors in polyvinyl chloride conduit and connected to built-in steel, the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor is 3/0 AWG copper. Ensure proper installation and protection of the conductor, and verify that all connections are secure and meet code requirements.